San Francisco, a city of fog, cable cars, and the kind of wealth that makes the rest of the world blink in disbelief. It is a place where a garage startup can turn into a trillion-dollar empire, and where the median rent can rival the GDP of a small nation. But beneath the headlines of tech bros and IPOs, there is another story. A story of resilience, ownership, and immense capital built by black men who refuse to be pushed out of the frame. We are not just talking about athletes who signed big checks. We are talking about the venture capitalists who decide which apps you use tomorrow. These are the kings of the Bay. From the streets of Oakland to the private clubs of Atherton, they are the landlords, the investors, and the icons. We are counting down the 10 richest black men in the San Francisco Bay Area. And stick around for number 1. He is a man who didn't just change the game. He changed the geometry of his sport, built a billion-dollar brand, and cemented himself as the modern emperor of San Francisco wealth. Number 10. Ryan Coogler, the Hollywood visionary of the East Bay. We begin our countdown with a man who proves that wealth in the Bay Area isn't always coded in Python or Java. Sometimes it's written in a screenplay. Ryan Coogler is not just a director. He is the cinematic soul of Oakland. While he spends much of his time in Hollywood production meetings, his heart and his creative engine remains deeply anchored in the Bay Area soil that raised him. Born in Oakland, Coogler grew up in a world far removed from the glitz of the red carpet. He played football at St. Mary's College in Moraga and attended Sacramento State, soaking in the diverse, complicated, and vibrant culture of the East Bay. But instead of chasing the NFL, he picked up a camera. His debut film, Fruitvale Station, wasn't just a movie. It was a local testimony, telling the tragic true story of Oscar Grant. It was a project made with grit, community support, and a shoestring budget, but it catapulted him into the stratosphere of elite filmmakers. Coogler's wealth comes from a rapid, unprecedented ascent in Hollywood. He didn't just get a job, he got the keys to the kingdom. Marvel Studios handed him the reins to Black Panther, and he delivered a cultural phenomenon that grossed over $1.3 billion worldwide. That success didn't just make Disney rich, it gave Coogler immense leverage. He founded Proximity Media, a production company that allows him to own his intellectual property and develop projects on his own terms. Living in the Bay Area allows Coogler to operate outside the Los Angeles bubble, maintaining the authentic perspective that makes his work so valuable. His net worth, estimated in the tens of millions, is growing not just through directing fees, which are now among the highest in the industry, but through producing credits on sequels, television series for Disney Plus, and original investments. He represents the new creative capital of the Bay. A storyteller who took the narrative of the streets and sold it to the world for billions, keeping a piece of the pie for himself. He proves that the most valuable asset in San Francisco isn't always a microchip. Sometimes, it's a vision. Number 9. Danny Glover, the activist, icon, and San Francisco native. If Ryan Coogler is the new face of Bay Area cinema, Danny Glover is the foundation upon which it stands. A native San Franciscan, born to postal workers who were active in the NAACP, Glover is old-school San Francisco nobility. He didn't move here for the gold rush. He is the soil. Danny Glover's wealth, estimated around $12 million, is a testament to a career that managed to balance massive commercial success with unyielding political activism. Most the world knows him as Roger Murtaugh from the Lethal Weapon franchise, a role that generated hundreds of millions at the box office and cemented him as an action icon. Those residuals alone provide a comfortable bedrock of wealth that most actors only dream of. But Glover's portfolio is far more interesting than just Hollywood checks. He has been a quiet investor and a producer of independent cinema for decades. He co-founded Louverture Films, a production company dedicated to developing films of historical relevance and social purpose. This isn't a vanity project. It's a strategic investment in the global content market, backing films that win awards at Cannes and Sundance. Moreover, Glover's real estate footprint in the city is historic. Having lived in the Haight-Ashbury district long before it was a tourist trap, his connection to the city's property market goes back to an era when owning a Victorian home was a community standard, not a luxury status symbol. While his net worth might look modest compared to the tech billionaires on this list, his cultural equity is incalculable. He sits on boards, advises unions, and holds a level of influence in San Francisco politics that money can't buy. He is the bridge between the city's radical past and its wealthy present, proving that you can walk with kings and still keep your footing in the Fillmore. Number 8. E40, Earl Stevens. The tycoon of Vallejo. Move over, Napa Valley. The real intoxicating success story of the Bay Area isn't a Merlot from a French chateau. It's a bottle of Slurricane from the mind of Earl Stevens, better known to the world as E40. To call E40 just a rapper is like calling Amazon just a bookstore. It misses the entire empire. Born in Vallejo, E40 is the architect of the independent hustle. Long before Jay-Z or Dr. Dre became billionaires, E40 was selling tapes out of the trunk of his car, refusing to sign bad deals with major labels. He founded Sick Wid It Records in 1989, retaining ownership of his masters and publishing. In the music industry, owning your masters is the difference between being a worker and being a boss. Every time a Bay Area anthem like Tell Me When to Go plays in a stadium, a club, or a commercial, E40 gets paid. But his true genius lies in his pivot to the beverage industry. He didn't just slap his name on a vodka, he built a supply chain. He launched Earl Stevens Selections, a line of wines that includes Mango Scotto and Function Red Blend. He followed that with Slurricane, a pre-mixed cocktail that became a viral sensation, and E40 Tequila. These aren't merchandise, they are legitimate consumer packaged goods, CPG, that compete for shelf space in major retailers like Costco, BevMo, and Safeway across the country. E40's net worth is often estimated in the range of $10 to $20 million based on music alone. But with his liquor distribution deals, real estate investments in Solano County, and venture capital plays, he was an early investor in Clubhouse, his actual financial influence is likely much higher. He is a sector-agnostic investor, putting money into tech, food, and spirits with the same rapid-fire precision he uses in his lyrics. He proves that the hyphy movement wasn't just a dance, it was a business model. Number 7. Marshawn Lynch, the Beast Mode Business Empire. From Vallejo, we cross the bridge to Oakland, where Marshawn Lynch has turned a football career into a masterclass in branding. They call him Beast Mode for how he ran through defensive lines. But today, that nickname is a trademarked diversified holding company. Marshawn Lynch is the anti-corporate mogul. While other athletes wear suits and talk about synergy, Lynch wears a hoodie and talks about community. And he makes millions doing it. During his NFL career, he famously saved the vast majority of his salary, living off his endorsement deals instead. That disciplined accumulation of capital allowed him to retire with a war chest ready for investment. His flagship venture is the Beast Mode apparel line. This isn't just a few t-shirts. It's a full lifestyle brand with retail stores in Oakland and Seattle, an online global distribution network, and partnerships with major retailers. He owns the intellectual property of his own catchphrases, meaning every time someone says, "I'm just here so I won't get fined," Marshawn's cash register rings. But his portfolio goes much deeper. He is a restaurateur, owning Rob Ben's restaurant in Emeryville, a soul food spot dedicated to his late aunt. He is a tech investor, putting money into startups like FAM, a group video chat app. He is even a sports team owner, holding stakes in the Seattle Kraken, NHL, and the Oakland Roots, USL, and the Bay Area Panthers. Lynch's genius is his authenticity. He invests in what he knows and what he loves. He bought real estate in Oakland to fight gentrification, buying up blocks to ensure black businesses have a home. His estimated net worth of over $35 million is impressive, but his liquidity and freedom are the real wealth. He answers to no one. He rides his BMX bike to board meetings. He is the richest man in the room who doesn't care if you know he's rich. Number 6. Andre Iguodala, the Silicon Valley swingman. If Marshawn Lynch is the king of branding, Andre Iguodala is the king of the boardroom. During his time with the Golden State Warriors, Iguodala didn't just win championships. He used his proximity to Silicon Valley to become one of the most astute venture capitalists in professional sports. While his teammates were playing video games on the plane, Iguodala was reading pitch decks. He realized early on that playing for the Warriors gave him access to the most exclusive club in the world, the venture capital ecosystem of Sand Hill Road. He leveraged his fame to get meetings with top firms like Andreessen Horowitz, and he didn't just smile and nod, he learned the game. Iguodala co-founded a venture capital firm, Mastery, to formalize his investing. His portfolio reads like a greatest hits of the last decade of tech: Zoom, Datadog, PagerDuty, and Allbirds. He got into Zoom before the pandemic made it a household utility, a move that likely generated returns of 10 times or 20 times his initial investment. His net worth is estimated north of $50 million, but his influence is worth far more. He created the Players Technology Summit, a conference that brings athletes and tech CEOs together, essentially teaching other Black athletes how to build generational wealth through equity. He is the bridge between the locker room and the cap table. He showed the world that a Black athlete in San Francisco isn't just labor. He is capital. He proved that the smartest play wasn't the alley-oop. It was the Series A round. Number 5. Tony West, the legal architect of the gig economy. Now we leave the world of sports and enter the high-stakes arena of corporate power. Tony West is a man who operates in the rooms where the rules of the future are written. As the chief legal officer of Uber, he is one of the highest-ranking and highest-paid Black executives in Silicon Valley. Tony West's resume is a fortress of competence. He served as the Associate Attorney General of the United States, the third highest-ranking official in the DOJ, before pivoting to the private sector. He was the general counsel at PepsiCo, and then he took on the hardest job in tech, cleaning up Uber. When West joined Uber, the company was a toxic mess of scandals and lawsuits. He was the architect of their turnaround, guiding them through a massive IPO and navigating the complex labor laws of the gig economy. For his trouble, he has been compensated handsomely. His stock awards and salary package are immense. In the last few years alone, he has sold Uber stock worth tens of millions of dollars. His reported stock holdings and sales put his liquid assets in the $50 million range, and that's likely a conservative estimate when you factor in his previous earnings at PepsiCo and his wife's income. He is married to Maya Harris, the sister of Vice President Kamala Harris, making them one of the ultimate power couples in the country. West represents a different kind of San Francisco wealth. He isn't a founder, he is the fixer. He is the man billionaires call when their empires are under siege. His wealth is built on intellect, strategy, and an unrivaled network. He lives in a world of private security, political fundraisers, and board meetings that determine the fate of millions of workers. He is the quiet power in the back seat of the black car. Number 4. Barry Bonds, the home run king of real estate. Before Steph Curry was the face of Bay Area sports, there was Barry Bonds. For 15 seasons, Bonds was the San Francisco Giants. He was a force of nature, a polarizing giant who hit baseballs into the San Francisco Bay with a violence that captivated the nation. But while his playing days ended in controversy, his financial life has been a home run. During his career, Bonds earned over $172 million in salary alone, a staggering figure for his era. But unlike many athletes who blow their fortunes on entourages and bad investments, Bonds was notoriously guarded and shrewd. He invested heavily in Bay Area real estate when prices were a fraction of what they are today. Bonds owns a massive estate in the Beverly Park community. Though primarily based in LA now, he maintains deep Bay Area assets and connections. His real estate portfolio in Northern California has included multi-million-dollar homes in Hillsborough and Los Altos Hills, zip codes that are among the most expensive in America. His estimated net worth sits comfortably above $100 million. But beyond the money, Bonds retains a unique position in San Francisco. He is a living legend, a man who built the modern AT&T Park, now Oracle Park, with his bat. His wealth is old money by athlete standards. He isn't chasing VC deals. He is sitting on appreciating assets and enjoying a retirement that is as private and fortified as his batting stance was. In a city that changes every day, Barry Bonds is a statue, immovable, wealthy, and forever part of the landscape. Number 3. Michael Seibel, the gatekeeper of Silicon Valley. If you want to know who is going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, you don't ask a psychic, you ask Michael Seibel. As a managing director and group partner at Y Combinator, Seibel sits at the very head of the table of the world's most powerful startup accelerator. Michael Seibel's journey to wealth is the quintessential Silicon Valley dream, but with a twist. He didn't just code, he built communities. He was the co-founder and CEO of Justin.tv, the platform that eventually pivoted to become Twitch. Yes, that Twitch, the company Amazon bought for nearly $1 billion. While he wasn't the sole owner, his equity stake in that exit was the seed capital for his personal empire. But he didn't stop there. He co-founded SocialCam, which sold to Autodesk for $60 million. 2 exits, 2 fortunes. Most people retire after one. Seibel went on to become the CEO of Y Combinator, the factory that produced Airbnb, Dropbox, and Stripe. In his role at YC, Seibel has personal investments and carried interest in hundreds of startups. He has seen the pitch decks of companies that are now worth billions before they even had a logo. His personal net worth is estimated to be over $130 million, but his access is worth billions. He is one of the few black men who holds the keys to the venture capital vault. He has championed diversity in tech not just with words, but by funding black founders and mentoring the next generation. He proves that the greatest wealth in San Francisco isn't just money, it's the ability to say yes to the future. Number 2. David Drummond, the corporate titan. Now we enter the stratosphere of wealth. The numbers jump from millions to hundreds of millions. David Drummond is a name that might not ring a bell for the average tourist on Fisherman's Wharf. But in the glass offices of Mountain View and the penthouses of San Francisco, his name carries the weight of an anchor. David Drummond was the first outside lawyer Google ever hired. He incorporated the company in 1998. Think about that. He was there when it was a garage project. He rose to become the chief legal officer and senior vice president of corporate development for Alphabet, Google's parent company. For over 2 decades, Drummond was the man who navigated Google's legal battles, its acquisitions, like Android and YouTube, and its transformation into a global superpower. His compensation packages were astronomical. In a single year, he could earn $47 million in stock and salary. But the real story is the stock accumulation. When Drummond left Alphabet in 2020, he sold off over $200 million worth of stock in the months leading up to his departure. And that was just the exit liquidity. Over his 20-year tenure, he accumulated hundreds of thousands of shares. His estimated net worth is difficult to pin down exactly, but conservative estimates place it in the range of $300 million to $500 million. He is a complex figure, leaving the company amidst controversy regarding workplace relationships, but there is no denying his financial impact. He was one of the wealthiest black executives in the history of Silicon Valley. He helped build the engine that organizes the world's information, and he took a massive slice of that value with him. He lives a life of quiet, ultra-high net worth privacy, likely splitting time between Bay Area estates and global retreats. He is the proof that being employee number roughly 15 at the right company is worth more than being the CEO of almost anything else. Number 1. Stephen Curry, the billion-dollar brand of the Bay. We have arrived at number 1, the man who needs no introduction, yet whose business acumen is often overshadowed by his jump shot. He is the baby-faced assassin, the chef, and the undisputed richest black man in the San Francisco Bay Area sports and entertainment sphere. Stephen Curry. Steph Curry is not just a basketball player, he is a corporation. His net worth is currently estimated at over $240 million, but his trajectory is set to cross the billion-dollar mark within his lifetime. Let's break down the bank account. First, the salary. Curry has signed back-to-back contracts worth over $200 million each. He was the first player in NBA history to sign a $200 million deal, and then he did it again. His career earnings from the NBA alone will exceed $400 million. This is guaranteed cash, backed by the Golden State Warriors, a team whose valuation shot up primarily because of him. Then there is the shoe deal. Under Armour was a distant underdog in the sneaker wars until they signed Curry. He now has his own subsidiary brand, Curry Brand, similar to Jordan at Nike. This deal includes equity and royalties that could pay him for decades after he retires. But Curry's brilliance is in his Bay Area investments. He founded SC30 Inc., a company that manages his investments, brand partnerships, and philanthropic ventures. He is a major player in the tech world with investments in companies like Tonal, Smart Gym, Snap Travel, and Penny Jar Capital. He even owns a production company, Unanimous Media, which has a massive development deal with Comcast NBC Universal. He lives in a $30 million mansion in Atherton, the most expensive zip code in America. He neighbors the tech billionaires we mentioned earlier, but he is the one they all want a selfie with. What makes Curry number one isn't just the current balance of his checking account, though that is massive. It's the velocity of his wealth. He is actively building an ecosystem that merges sports, media, technology, and fashion. He is the modern prototype of the Bay Area mogul. Talented, tech-savvy, family-oriented, and ruthlessly successful in business. He didn't just buy a house in San Francisco, he became the landlord of the entire culture. From the cinematic vision of Ryan Coogler to the billion-dollar jump shot of Stephen Curry, these men have rewritten the code of wealth in San Francisco. They have proven that in a city often criticized for its exclusivity, Black excellence can not only exist but dominate. They are the investors, the creators, and the titans who ensure that when the history of the Bay Area is written, it isn't just a story of algorithms and apps, but of culture, soul, and unrelenting ambition. Which one of these financial giants impressed you the most? Was it the quiet accumulation of David Drummond, or the beast mode branding of Marshawn Lynch? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more amazing stories here at Black Status.